Welcome back. Star Alliance Series Part 3. If you haven't checked out the other two videos, I strongly suggest you do so. Did the 767 and 737. United Star Alliance. The only one we have left is that one. So, without further ado, let's back up the camera. Whoop, not tip over the camera, just back up the camera. Oh, okay. There she is. 777-200ER. Finally, I get to say the name properly this time. This is actually a 777, unlike that. That is not a 777, and that is not a 777. This is a 777. 777-200ER. Now, as I said in the 767 video, this one is interesting for a number of reasons. First one being the misprint. Can you spot it? I'll let you guess for a minute as we show you around the box. 1380. Yeah, it's a little dusty, but Gemini 200. Typical 777 box. We got the 777-200ER. Back of the box. Typical Gemini, as it always is. Bottom, other side. All right, the misprint on this box is this. So the release photos and now the box for this model, the release photos as in the pre-order photos show you that you're getting, what is that? Obviously, it's a 777 GE90. So that would lead you to believe you're gonna get the GE90 engines on this model. No, that's not in fact what you get. So they re-release the pre-release photos and the box is actually misrepresenting what engines actually come on this model. These are actually revised versions of the Pratt & Whitney PW4090s that come on the G2UAL910, I think is the model number, and that is the Evo livery. That is the only Evo livery they've released as of this date of that model. But we now have another one. So here's the print. You can pause and read that if you want. This one does have a flap, as a lot of 777 boxes do. You get to see the model and the stand inside. Typical metal stand we always get. And the Star Alliance, once again, and our not GE90s, but redone Pratt & Whitney PW4090 engines. So, without further ado, let's open this up and take a look. Now, while we're opening it, I have to give thanks to my friends over at DG Pilot. Thank you for garnishing my wages for a long time now, probably over a year, and creating an addiction that is more expensive than doing hard drugs the rest of your life, because that's how expensive this model collecting hobby is. But I do appreciate it, and one advantage you're getting from ordering from DG Pilot is, yes, your order may take a little longer to ship out, but that's because the order goes to the store first, and before they send it out to you, instead of receiving a broken model from Gemini or other retailers, they inspect the model. Now, is your model going to be absolutely flawless? No, no Gemini model ever is, and they have a business to run. But what you will not receive is engines falling off, is propellers falling off, is antennas missing, is giant paint marks missing. None of that's going to happen if you order from DG Pilot, because it ships to the store, and the guys at the store inspect every single model before they ship it out. And I'm not just saying that like as a plug, you know, whatever. I really appreciate what they've done for me. They've enabled me to spend way more money than I've ever needed to spend on these little models. They allow me to take a look at all the models in the store, open them up, and inspect them myself, as I am, and as you know, an exorbitantly picky model buyer. So this is the best out of the 3 that they received, and it's still not perfect. That's just how Gemini goes. So let's take a look. Do buy from them. They will appreciate your business. Triple 7 time. I always love me at 777. Always. Well, laundry's done again. Look at that. Typical stand as we always get, as we just reviewed on the 767. That's not damaged, that's just glue. I'll take that off later. Pretty typical. And we have the model itself covered in the plastic wrapping. It's about how it's going to come for you. We have the gear up and the gear down. So without further ado, let's pull the plastic and take the model out. Plastic. So again, if I'm taking more time than usual, it's because I have model stuff all over this room, and I have to be careful where I step. The reveal. Here we are, 777 200 ER, Star Alliance, Gemini jets. Let's move the foam. There are our Pratt & Whitney 4090s, not General Electric GE90s. They even have lines on them that I will show you. See? So it's kind of a redone 4090 engine merged with the GE90 and not just the GE90s themselves, which is quite interesting. But otherwise, here it is. It's a beautiful model. Some defects that include the 777-200 series from Gemini include the dotting and misprinting, not misprinting, but the dotting of the cockpit windows. This one was really good, that's why I chose it. This one is not without its imperfections though. The antennas sometimes are not in all the way. This one seems to be really good though. As you can see, all there and pressed in all the way. There's that beautiful black Star Alliance tail. There's that signature 777-200 wing tips. Now that's important because the ER variant has pointed wing tips, as this one just has the flat wing tips on it. The LR, sorry, with the General Electric GE90 engines. Beautiful Star Alliance down the side. Let's see if I can get a close-up sort of the cockpit windows there. Overall, beautiful, beautiful big 777. Bottom of the model with the antennas. Ooh, that one's loose. I might have to re-glue that one back in, that little one there. At least it's still there. That antenna's, yep, that one's good. All right, let's set it down, take a look at the gear, and put it on the stand. All right, here's the landing gear. My watch is going off because work is insane. I work at Delta Sky Club, and our numbers are just outrageously insane because it's teacher MEA weekend or whatever, so everyone's traveling and the club is full all day, and everybody is just worn out. And my boss is sending me funny messages of him saying he needs a break. It's kind of funny. All right. Triple seven, triple seven, triple seven, triple bogey. Tilt. Does tilt. That is the correct tilt. It tilts up to the forward position, unlike the 767, which goes to the aft position. These ones tilt forward, or whatever direction you want to call it. So, nice landing gear. Let's bring the model back up, and we'll put it on. And then we will put it on the stand, and then we'll get the display out, as we have for the past two models. So, I just love a 777. Just love it, 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 love it. Gotta be careful handling expensive model. Front bogey. And the reveal. Careful, careful, careful. Oh yeah. I love when you put a gear in a model that just makes it come alive. Oh, that's beautiful. That is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I love it. A little bit of tilt up there. Wow, very good. Very, very good. God, it's so hard handling the models, though. It's nerve-wracking. Oh, that sits in there really, really well. That is beautiful. All right, let's set this down, get it on the stand, and we'll go around the model. Here we are. Let's take a look around this beautiful 777-200ER. So there are not General Electric, but Pratt & Whitney engines, the revised version of the Pratt & Whitneys. Zoom in. It's not zooming very good. Either way, you can see that there. They do spin, which is nice, and they do have the correct strake mark for the Pratt & Whitney. You will notice the green ring is not there, but on some of the real Pratt & Whitney engines, I have not seen the green ring in all of them. So that is actually an okay detail to be missed on this specific engine. These are a little bit revised from the previous version. I do have the G2U AL910 model. The center, as I've said in my other videos, it's very important to me that the center cone spiral is painted. That just is a detail to me that matters a lot. Some other people, it doesn't matter so much, but it is painted black. Now, the black is kind of unevenly painted on it a little bit, but that is okay because it still has the correct strake mark for the Pratt & Whitney engine, and it is painted black. They did go through the effort to do that. So I really appreciate that, and I think this is a good setup for the Pratt & Whitney engines. Now, as you can see, the paint quality is pretty darn good on this model. That shine is really well done. And you can see, now these lines in the engine, they're actually silver in real life. They're not black like it's showing in the video, and the engine color in real life is darker than it's not as saturated. So pull some saturation out of it and you'll get what the real one looks like, the model. So, but that gear sits so well in there, so well. Like, I haven't seen a gear that sit that well in a 777 before. And I'm gonna show you, as this is the finale video, behind me, I have my display up, and I have a very rare 777-200ER G2DL 325, which is a 2015 release of the Delta 777 with the Rolls-Royce Trent 700s on them. So, really proud of that model as well. But that gear fitment is beautiful. Now this one's a little wonk, you know, you can see it back there, but I think once we set it on the display board, see how it tilts up like that? It'll sit flat on the table, and that's all that really matters, is that it sits flat on the table. Yeah, they're tiny gears to manufacture, so they're not all gonna be dead on perfect. But let's take a look up and down of this model. There's that Star Alliance tail. I think this one has the best paint out of the three. No strake marks, hardly any, and that gloss shine is gorgeous. The rear door, we got the registration there. Rear cargo door, antennas. Star Alliance printing up the fuselage. Absolutely beautiful. The sat dome and the antenna right behind it, which is a trademark of the 777-200 series, especially on United. United logo, another cargo door. Star Alliance, connecting people, uniting the world. And like I said, I picked this specific model because the cockpit window printing on this one has hardly any defects at all. No white spots within the gray areas, no gashing out of the borders. So this one does have a couple other little small things, but this is the best one out of the three. So is it still crooked? No, when I look at it on it face on, I know it looks a little crooked because the landing gear kind of bends to one side. If I move it straight. The 910 model of this, the cockpit window printing, is actually very crooked. Now this one, I'd say it's a little bit, it's just a little bit. It's not bad though. Nothing you're gonna notice as long as you're looking at different sides of the model like that. But yeah, up the other side. This is normal. This is not a defect. This is the some sort of printing detail. It goes all around the model. I think it's just for application series. Star Alliance printing up the side of the fuse. And that beautiful tail again with the APU detail back there. Let's zoom out. As you can see, we have all three models here now. Here's our 777 and the 767 and the 737 over there. So while we're at it, scoot this over before we get to the display board, which is the most exciting part of the video. Let's just take a look at these beautiful models side by side. Zoom in. 767, I recommend you go check out that video. We did this one on the display board and it did absolutely fantastic. Beautiful model. I do recommend having this in your collection, especially if you're a United collector. And our 777 registration on the gear doors there as well. Revised Pratt & Whitney engines. Star Alliance United team together with mince printed box. So, all right, we're far enough into this video. Let's get out the display board, do some comparisons, do a little bit of looking around, and then I'm going to show you my collection that I have on display behind me, we're going to look at that Delta 777 and see how it's different from this United 777, along with my A350s, my prides of the fleet, and the A321 Neos, which are kind of hard to get. So without further ado, display board activate. So here's the display board. I'm going to plop the model in there, but first, before we do that, just in case you haven't watched my other videos, which you should, I got to do this plug again. Again, I'm not getting paid for this. I just recommend going to this guy, Brad Myers, email him. You can get your custom display board, 400, 500, and 200 scales. His name is Brad Myers. I do see him frequently at many airline shows. He will do custom boards, and he does have just standard boards as well for your layouts. Now, they are of real airports. Some of them are just made up ones. Some of them are actual runways and taxiways from real airports, which is really cool. So email him. He will get you set up with either a custom board or a pre-done already made board, so you can set your display up on your bookshelf or wherever and display your beautiful, expensive airplane models. So recommend him, go find him. Also, before we get going, this jet bridge, I will show you that now. JC Wings, that is the clear jet bridge. You can get green or blue translucent as well. I'm grabbing the box here. It comes with a variety of different attachments for the gate up there, as not all of these curvatures fit the curvature of the model. I will put this display together in a minute. This is the box, 1200. There's your part number, LH2281. This is 2 separate clear jet bridges. You can get double jet bridges and you can get triple jet bridges for 747s and A380s. I've reviewed the A381 already. It has many views. You can go on my channel and take a look at what that jet bridge looks like. As you can see, you get different options. You get a fire extinguisher or cones, and then you get 2 pieces of the jet bridge itself. As the stairs rotate, the jet bridge extends, and it pivots and moves around. So just to answer those questions before I get comments about, where'd you buy the jet bridge? First of all, eBay. Second of all, it's JC Wings. Third of all, there's the part number for you. So without further ado, I'm going to set the model on here. This is not the setup done yet, but I just want to show you how we start a display board model. So I'll take it. Say she's arriving from a gate somewhere. Align it. You got to be very gentle and careful with this because, see, this model's too big. These are fragile pieces. You can hear the jet flying over now. I do live near the airport somewhat. Just like that. So we got her on front there. You can see the engines go right up to that line. And again, this display board is 2 sides. You can get 1-sided or 2-sided. The other side has 2 parking spots. So you can put 2 narrow bodies on there, but we need to use this side because this is the wide body side, and I can put a narrow body to display on here as well. So then I line it up with the back, lift, right smack dab center in the taxiway. And that is on there. So this isn't actually set up yet, but that is it positioned. I'm going to set up all the ground equipment in the way I want and get the jet bridge attached there. And then we'll take a look around this beautiful model. Stay tuned. We're back. We are all set up. United, Star Alliance. Let's take a closer look. Now, as you've watched my previous videos on the 737 and the 767, Those have front boarding doors as far as I'm concerned. The 777 though is different. Boarding doors are connected, not at the front, but at the second boarding door, which is what we have going on here. Now, as you can see, with our JC Wings jet bridge and a different jet bridge skirt options, that contour to the aircraft is almost perfect. And now we're just going to take a nice, beautiful look around with all our scale details put in. Those are our Pratt & Whitney engines, as we talked about. You can zoom in even more. Revised engines, beautiful. Platform truck. With our ground cart. I'm going to move myself. You can kind of see the silver of the engine lines there. We got our signature landing gear, 3 sets. Our fuel truck, which the fuel attachment will be right under the wing here somewhere. Decided to put the fire extinguisher with that, just as a little pose. The 777 is much bigger than the 767, and it's amazing just doing the models here. I can really tell, like, look how much fuller the frame is with this aircraft. I mean, if that isn't signature look, I don't know what is. But this gourmet truck, it doesn't even like stay up anymore. I have it up as far as it'll go, and it can barely reach the top door. The conveyor truck here, I had to pivot almost all the way to the max extension in order to reach that loading door down there. And again, these scale details and placement may not be accurate, but I'm just doing it for display and showing purposes. See how far that's angled up there versus the 767. I'm actually surprised how much bigger this aircraft is than the 767. There's our nose. A little bit misprint on the nose there, but that's okay. We're just gonna enjoy and take this all in. Get you some different angles as well. Let's take a look at another angle. Here's side back view. I have the bus and the stairs on the other side. I had to extend the stairs immensely from the 767 in order to reach the top door. And a back look. There's our bus. GSC, ground service equipment. All the antennas with that signature 777 wing look. Star Alliance painting and our JC Wings jet bridge. So we'll take a look at that side next. Beautiful. Here's a front view at 1 times. Let's zoom in to 2 times. It's having a little trouble focusing, but jet bridge attachment. .767 on the stand back there. Come over to this side. Again, I know ground service vehicle placement is not quite right, but there's our tug and the aircraft itself. with the jet bridge. Ladders push down as the jet bridge extends. I did have to raise the jet bridge in order to reach this larger aircraft. Here's the jet bridge itself. And over here we have that generator, cart, and the boarding stairs with the bus, just to show you for scale. That beautiful engine compared to the stairs. You can kind of see the silver painting of the lines on there as well. Side view. Come a little lower. And we'll zoom out. All right, let's put our 737 next to it for a size comparison. First, I want to give you a top-down view. Should have done that with the other two models just to show you how large this one is. Come down to ground level. That front landing gear fitting amazing. And our 767 on departure. All right, let's put the 7.3 in. I can barely fit it on the board. Very interesting, you see those wingtips there. The split scimitar winglet top goes about to the point of that 777. Go ahead and watch the unboxing video for this 737. I did go plane spotting today because there was a 777-200ER with Rolls-Royce engines that came in. It was an ex-Delta 777, which is really cool. And it just so happened that Star Alliance made an appearance as well, this very aircraft. I don't know about this registration, but a 737-800 Star Alliance livery from United made a landing. So that was really cool. So just for size comparison, let's zoom out. Go top down. And come back. Beautiful. Kind of a different perspective here. Look how low that 7.3 is. See if I can't go into POV view. CFM 56 engines. Door automatically locking in the background. Let's take a different view. some shuffling. Isn't that a cool shot? Come over. All right, so I think that about concludes our review. Just one more time, there's 7.6, there's 7.3. 7.6, 7.3. It's not a really nice way to hold it, but and our 7.6, I'll try to hold, get you a size comparison. There's about nose to nose, engines, and tail. Obviously the 777 is much bigger by a long shot. So before I drop it and ruin my day, I'm gonna set it down. All right, good. That about concludes our review on United 777-200ER Star Alliance. As I've said a million times in this video, beautiful. Here's the display board. Jeff at rockwood.net. Brad Myers is his name. Contact him to get your custom board. JC Wings Jet Bridge. Make sure to check that out. And for the last part of this video, I'm not going to turn the lights on, but let's take a look at the display behind me, which is my pride of the fleet, the Delta display. And the last part here, my pride display. Philips Hue light strip, IKEA Delta, discontinued, bought on Facebook Marketplace. Shelf, Delta A350, 100 years, with the A350 Special Edition card. The A321neo, 100 years. Beautiful Pratt & Whitney PW1100G engines. Searched hard for a good one of this model. Rare A321 100 years card. And a pin. I have many of those. Down here we have 503 Delta November, the most recent release, still available from Gemini Jets. This one has the center cone painted black like it should be, and the spinner spiral is beautiful. Searched hard for this really immaculate example. I do have 502 or 501. I don't remember which reg is on it, but I have the previous version to this A350 as well, which has a different XWB 84 engine design, which is interesting. They refreshed it. The standard A321neo, hard model to find. That's the brand new A321neo card. Beautiful example. I got really lucky finding this model for when I did and the price I did. I didn't know that they were gonna go up in value after I bought mine. And the funny thing is I even argued with the guy about price because I thought it was too expensive. Joke's on me because it's now more than I paid for it. So the new A350 card, trading card, and our Delta 737-900ER. As you can see, if my camera would focus, the nose shape is much better on the 900 series than the 800 series. I think it's a lot more accurate. The printing is much better. The top shape above the cockpit is better. Gemini did a really good job with this 900ER model from Delta. As you can see, the color matched landing gear on there, all the beautiful antennas, the new trading card. And last but not least, as we're reviewing 777s, this is G2DAL 325 with the Rolls-Royce Trent 700 engines. This is the only model Gemini produced of Delta with Rolls-Royce engines. The registration on this one being 864 Delta Alpha November. Details really good on this one. The landing gear on this specific model does not fit as nicely as the United model we just reviewed. As you can see, there's a little gap, but I have two of these exact same models and each one has its own particular flaw to nitpick. So none of them are perfect. The cockpit window printing on these ones are notoriously bad for having white spots in them. This one is no exception. It does have white spots in it. I could touch it up with some gray if I really, really wanted to, but so far I'm just using it as a display model. This is the only 777 trading card that Delta has. This is the LR variant. It has the General Electric GE90 engines on it. They did not make a trading card with the Rolls-Royce engines on them. The Rolls-Royce engines are pretty close to the same as the Pratt & Whitney, so I wouldn't be surprised if Gemini is using the same mold. The spinner is a little bit too round. The spinner on the real Rolls-Royce is pointed, but that is okay. At least it has the correct spiral detail, and it is painted black, which is the most important part for me. Beautiful model. If you can find one, definitely recommend picking it up. A lot of these G2DL 325s have a lot of factory defects though on them. So the wing joints on some of them are very bad. They aren't flush and even like that. Some of them are elongated. Some of them stick out a little bit. Some of them, the engines have chipping in them. These are notorious, this specific model, to have engine around the what do you call that? The bezel, the pylon, or whatever. I'm an aviation guy and I'm screwing all this up. Are notorious for having chunks missing out of them, but that is seen as completely normal, and people will sell this model as is. Say no defects, even with that kind of chipping. So definitely do your homework. I got lucky when I bought two of them. I overpaid for them, obviously, but they turned out to be actually better examples than a lot of them I've seen, and I've passed up quite a few just to find a good one. So is it perfect? No, but given how rare it is, it's what I got, and I appreciate what I got. So there's the pride of the fleet, the display. I will switch this up as I am not in my forever place. I'm living not in my own apartment at this time, so I don't have any elaborate displays of my airline collection up. This is it, only this, and the display here when I get you guys these videos. Now, I would like to leave this up and just admire the beauty of it somewhere. I may do that. I may find a spot too. I may not. We will see. But there we go. There's the special. All three United Star Alliance Part 3 unboxing. I really hope you enjoyed. Make sure to check out this video and this video, as they all have unique properties to each Gemini model. I know it's been long, but I do love my models, and all my models that I do decide to keep become my children. They are my babies. I take care of them, as in the box will go in a box, with protective padding around the box, and the models will stay in the boxes. And when I handle them, I only handle them with gloves and as gentle as possible. The worst I handle them is when I review them and take them out of the box for you and move them around with my hands, as that's very hard. But I do wipe them down, I do store them properly, I do everything I can to take care of my babies. So actually, one more thing, maybe I'll show you what my collection currently looks like and how many models and how much of a problem this has actually become. Let's do that. Give me just 1 second. So here's upstairs real quick. This is my collection of stuff. This is a Delta 1 amenity kit. It is full and has all the real stuff in it. I have a whole ton of stuff. So like pillows, these are the pillow and blankets you get. I have the slippers you get from United and Delta. My brother's brought me some headphones, wings. I have literature all over the place. I kind of am an airline nut. I have a lot. There's all the slippers from Delta and United. There's a United Saks Fifth Avenue top blanket. You'll know what that looks like if you know United. Here's my models. That is Team USA right there, A350, and that's the A321neo. There's a lot more in there. This is another box. This is the 767s from Delta, and then a model 1117, that's 767, 767, 1111. Oh, it's 757-300, previous release. 757-200. New release without winglets. I still need one with winglets. $2 bills from work, which are weird, but people give them to me, so I save them. Lufthansa. I have the Dreamliner, the A320 Standard Edition. DIMK. This is the most recent release, A380. Down here is the 777-200LR from Delta, the Delta 747, and some other really rare models in there. In here we have United 777-300. This is a box for that Delta model that I just showed you. This one, 1101, 129. This is a United 757-300. I have the 200 and the 300. Both I love. So in here we have more A380s. There's an Emirates A380 new livery, an Emirates A380 old livery, and then Lufthansa A380. Those are all my A380s. I still need the new livery in the Emirates 777-300ER. I have the old livery. This is the new release. I didn't do an unboxing. They got the fan way wrong on this, so I'm actually disappointed with this new release model. Both A350s, I would like to get rid of one. One of them's the first release, one is the second release. The second release is better because the fan blades are painted correctly. Below that is some United model. I don't know. This one is a Max, the old version, not a fan of it. And then the 737-700 is under there. This is the new and upcoming box for the next models that I'm getting. These are the big pride and joys of the fleet. This is the A350 100 years, and this one is A350 LA28. Real special model there. This is A321neo. But there's models. There's models, and there's models like you could dig, and there's just more. And they're all very desirable models. These aren't just some random livery, whatever models. I collect United, I collect Delta standard livery, I collect Delta special livery. I now have the Star Alliance group of United, as we just saw today. I collect some special Lufthansa stuff. I am still looking for the 747-8 to go with the Lufthansa collection. I still need a A330-300 from Lufthansa. And then Emirates. Emirates is another child of mine. Yeah, I just like them. So that is the bulk of my collection. There are some one-offs in here, 1 or 2 maybe, but other than that, oh yeah, JetBlue. I have a JetBlue going blue livery, but other than that, that's the collection. That's how bad it's gotten. It's, yeah. All right. Hope you enjoyed. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.